Alright guys, so a quick little update for you. We got the front end kind of sorted out where it needs to be. We took both the headlights out. I got the harness and everything kind of moved out of the way. Everything's been pulled so that way when we're cutting all of this structure out here, everything's out of the way and there's nothing to worry about cutting through and stuff like that we want to save obviously for the future. I did a little bit of hammering in the past to try to fit the wheels in the front to give myself less rubbing noises and all that kind of fun stuff. You can literally see on both sides where the tire was actually rubbing through the structure of the car, and it actually has like little burn marks and stuff like that. I don't know, just something I think is kind of funny for how tight I was trying to push the fitment with my suspension setup. And then of course the rubber dust is always kind of funny, just from turning on the rubbing on the fenders, rubbing on the inside of the car and all that kind of fun stuff. Alright guys, so a little change of plans. Kind of decided this time around that originally I was going to pull these little braces off that kind of go around the strut towers. You can see that we kind of outlined in red. I'm going to scratch all that because honestly I'm probably just going to end up cutting all around that. As you can see, I have a rough idea of where we're going to cut this red line. Obviously you don't want to cut into the frame rail because obviously cutting through that's going to be a pain, but we're going to kind of try to come up a little bit here and go all around this. Honestly, right now I do have new wheels for this car, as most of you know. They won't be in this video, probably in the next one, but I do kind of want to keep note that I do have to have my wheel and the tire with the exact fitment to know exactly what needs to come out of the way, and then once everything clears and I can turn and I have the ride height that I want, I can then rebuild all the structure and kind of make that out to be the way I want it to be. Until then, we're just going to kind of guess around and try to get it as good as it can be. Not 100% sure what we're doing. Obviously, no one's really done this to any type of extent, so I got to just kind of figure it out for myself. But we're having fun doing it, and it's going to be a cool result in the end, so I'm looking forward to see what we can do. For right now, we're just going to keep cutting and see what happens. I always wanted to do different wheels on the car. It did have the 5-lug adapters, 4x100 to 5x114. I decided I wanted to find 4x100. I wanted to keep it 18-inch though. 18-inch 4x100 wheels are super hard to find. You can't really get anything easily, and a lot of stuff that you find is either a face that isn't really that great, or something you have to buy from like Yahoo auctions overseas in Japan. You don't really know what you're getting, bends, scratches, cracks, all that kind of stuff. So it was something that I really was waiting for, a certain face for a long time. So about after a year and a half, like I said, of searching, I finally came across the wheel I wanted, which is a very common wheel in the scene, but from Miata, and a 4x100 18-inch wheel is very rarely ever done. I only know 2 people, Tyler and myself, who've done it. So to show you guys what they are, these are the new wheels. All right, guys, so the new wheels that I decided to go with were the Work VSXX wheels. These are 18-inch wheels, like I said, on a Miata. They're 4x100. I decided to go with a polished lip, a white face. They came with gold hardware. I wasn't really a big fan at first, but now after looking at them, it kind of did grow on me a lot more than I was originally anticipating. I got these wrapped in Federal SS595s for now. I used to run Ankings, but now I kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit. I have buddies who run these and they say they're good tires, so I kind of like the way they look and stuff, and the price, you really can't beat it. So I decided to give them a shot. Just so you guys know, before I did run a square setup with an 18 by 9.5. This time around I did end up going with an 18 by 9.5 and an 18 by 9. The reason for that being is that if it's a rear-wheel drive car, obviously you can do a staggered setup. It's not that big of an issue. And also for my plans this time around, which you guys have been seeing, I'm trying to go a lot lower, tuck a lot more. So with that extra ½ inch eliminated from the picture on the lip, I'll be able to tuck a lot harder and still be able to maintain my little bit of turning that I do have with the car. So guys, as you can tell, this is a lot more aggressive, a lot more low, a lot more going on in general. It is always something that I really want to do. I really do like tucked fitment. I think when people are stupid low to the ground, frame banging, being static as it gets, I think that's something that's really cool. And this time around, I kind of just want to make that a reality. Right now, everything's kind of mocked up loosely, like the fenders barely even hanging on, bumpers, headlights, all that kind of stuff, side skirts. All that stuff's obviously going to be done the way I want, and everything's going to be fixed that's wrong with it, all the little imperfections. But for right now, just to get a quick look at what it looks like, it is really insane, and it looks way crazier than I originally imagined. When I stick my finger up in here, approximately, I'm touching the top wheel with my hand right now. It's tucking about, I don't know, like I want to say like 3 to 4 inches of the wheel easily inside the wheel well. Obviously I'm going to play around with the fitment. I'm going to end up redoing these fenders completely. Obviously they kind of got beat up from last season. I'm going to make it so I can turn, it looks good, the fitment's tight, all that kind of fun stuff. But just for a quick little picture of what's going on, this is really a good place to start. I'm really stoked with how this looks. It's a lot more aggressive than I anticipated. I knew it was going to be dumb low. I knew it was going to tuck really hard. 18s, obviously it's a lot more wheel you're working with. So everything like you guys have seen has been cut out of the way. We're going to rebuild structure on that. We do have a plan for what we're going to do. It did change a little bit from original, but this is going to be a lot better for me in the long run when it comes to maintenance, stuff like that. It's going to be way stronger than factory. We're going to make sure that we use sufficient metal, sufficient welding, all that kind of stuff. We're not going to skimp out. We don't want to run into issues in the future. Obviously this is a lot more different than what most people are willing to do. This car really doesn't get driven that much. I do drive it and I love driving it when I do, but the main thing is that it looks good. And obviously I'm going to be able to make it look good, but I also want to be safe when I'm driving it, whether it's anybody with me or myself, and obviously everybody else on the road. So we are doing our best to make sure that everything will be structurally sound and safe. So as you guys can see, we obviously have this massive piece and section cut out completely. There's no place left to mount the strut to in the car, so right now the car is literally undrivable and cannot be driven, obviously. It's a big work in progress. I knew this thing was going to be down for a while, and it's not something I've really been trying to rush anyways, so it doesn't bother me. But to give you guys a little better idea of what's going on, this whole piece is what was sectioned out to get all this room. As you can see, this piece right here, I was literally riding on that. It gave me an extra about, I want to say like 2 to 3 inches at least to go lower. And then as you can see here, we left everything, we got rid of everything except right in here. There's the brace for the fender. We obviously want to have the fender mount onto the car. So we're going to leave that piece there and we're going to reinforce it so that way it's not flopping around and all that kind of fun stuff. I obviously have a stiff suspension set up, so I don't have to worry about any kind of up travel or anything like that. The main thing at this point is obviously turning. So all of this stuff in the rear still has to be worked out, and in the front we're going to see how much turning I can get. These fenders are getting, like I said, completely redone, so that's nothing to really worry about. My main thing is getting the structure and everything good first, and then worry about the outside visuals. Alright guys, so that kind of brings us to the end of this first video. Right now where the car is at, everything's kind of cut up, moved out of the way. I don't want to drag this video out too long just because it's a lot of cutting stuff out. It's kind of the earlier stages of this whole process, so I kind of want to get a video out for you guys and start moving on to the next things. In the next video, I'm going to start cleaning some of this up to start prepping it, to start do all the welding work, all the fab work, get the top hat where it needs to be, build structure to support the fender as it sits right here, and get steps and steps closer and closer and start poking away at the progress to fit these big wheels in the front, and then we can move on to the rear to start doing all of that work as well. If you guys are interested, I am going to be making t-shirts with the NB on it. It's going to be in Tyler's website, so if you guys are interested in any type of merch, there's going to be the Miata merch, the Bondo Glass. Soon I'm going to try to get a shirt out with this car on there as well for you guys. If you're interested, anything helps, I'd appreciate it. It's going to support the builds, get more content out for you guys. Tyler and I are looking forward to filming some videos for you guys to start getting content back going, because we know it's been a while and we do a lot of stuff on the side, but not all of it gets filmed all the time just because life's busy. Anyways, appreciate you guys checking out the build. I hope you guys are looking forward to this as much as I am. Peace out and have a good one.